quiet, just there for 1 minute.
It's 6:30.
Well, it is 6:30, so I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if I could please have a roll call.
Supervisor Alex Apian,
Present.
Trustee Dean Morelli,
Here.
Trustee Greg Bickus,
Here.
Trustee Karen Johnson,
Here.
Trustee Denise Salvino,
Here.
Highway Commissioner Jim Louch,
Here.
Collector Jessica Kennedy, absent, Attorney Gary Mueller.
Present.
Thank you. First item on the Road and Bridge Fund agenda is the approval of minutes for the monthly meeting of April 7th, 2025. I will need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Denise Salvino,
I'll second.
second by Karen Johnson. Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to bills. I have bills this month of $129,653.71. I will need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Denise Salvino,
I'll second.
second by Karen Johnson. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please have a roll call.
Apian,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Bickus,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Salvino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Do we have any citizens wishing to address the board tonight in regards to the Road and Bridge Fund? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to the Highway Commissioner's report. Commissioner Louch, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, good evening, board. You may recall they started doing some work on Brazel in Fairmont. We had not paved the whole Brazel Street at their request. They were going to put in a sewer and water extension. So we ended up paving half of it. They are now putting in the water pipe and sewer, and then they'll end up paving the rest of it. So I brought this along if anybody wants to see the plans on it. In addition to that, in Fairmont area, the 2025 road program would be Green Garden and Oak Street. And we contacted Fairmont School and coordinated with them. They wanted to do some parking lot. Actually, Alex and I were out there. And Park District 2 that they have filled. So hopefully they can get a better price by everybody getting a little more blacktop. I have those engineer estimates as well for those two roads for anybody's inspection. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I have no other business. Do we have any final questions or comments from the board?
I was going to ask this one thing. Jim, over on McGregor, just a little bit north of Highland.
Yeah.
There's like a road course or something, traffic course in the street. 'Cause someplace didn't get blacktop yet.
Yeah.
And I saw, I guess somebody was started going around it, so they kind of moved it off the road. And I didn't know if it was something that shouldn't be run over or...
Was it the gravel area?
Yeah, it's still a little gravel area.
I
Like I said,
kinda-
there was a horse on there just to keep everybody off it, but now somebody moved it, so the traffic is going over it. And I don't know if it was something there for a purpose or if they just left it there. Or...
That's a good question. I contacted Burns McDonald, who was the engineer in that job, and they said, oh yeah, we're going to get to that. So I don't know if they took it up with anticipation of coming in to pave it,
Okay.
but I'll look at it. If it's a big dip, I'll
Yeah,
get
no,
it
it's
back.
not that bad right now, but like I said, I don't know, they had that horse on it for quite a while. And like I said, now somebody just moved it, so I'm sure it's getting run over, and I don't know if that's going to cause an issue or not.
That was just the other day I seen it there too, so
Yeah,
I mean, it
yeah.
had to be,
It was recent, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
but I'll look at
just
it.
letting you know.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
I just wanted to check too, in Fairmont, is it just those couple of
bigger streets that are getting redone, or?
Right now, it's Bryzel by Bruce, you know, as you come in by Lois, you'll see it to the east down Bruce and then Bryzel Street. So they're putting in a water sewer extension there. So they asked us not to pave that portion because they take it back up. So now they're doing the work.
Yeah. But are, you know, just like the northern part of Fairmont, all of the streets got done last year? Are all of the streets in the south part of Fairmont going to get done
They
the
are.
same way
They are, yeah.
this year?
Well, I don't know about this year, but we see the number on this engineer's estimate, it's kind of high, but that is doing the main thoroughways, which goes by the school, Oak goes by Shiloh, you know, you got the Park District, I mean, they're important arteries in the Fairmont area. They were getting bad, so I thought I'd tackle those.
Okay. All right, thanks.
I know, Commissioner, I think I meant to tell you, but our office did receive the check for $250,000 from Rep. Adler's
Nice.
office yesterday, so we'll get started on some additional lobbies as well.
Perfect.
So looks like our 2I lobby day work. Okay, no other questions or comments, so if I could entertain a motion to adjourn the Road and Bridge Fund meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Salvino,
One second.
second by Karen Johnson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The Road and Bridge Fund meeting is adjourned. Moving on now to the Town Fund. So first item on the Town Fund agenda is the approval of minutes. I have the minutes for the monthly meeting of April 7th, 2025. I will need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Denise Salvino. Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to bills. I have bills in the amount of $345,464.98. I will need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Dean Morelli. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please have a roll call.
Morelli,
Yes.
Beckus,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Salvino,
Yes.
Bateman.
Yes. Motion carries. Do we have any citizens wishing to address the board tonight in regards to the town fund? It seems
Grant.
like we have one comment. If you could please state your name for the record.
Grant Spooner, Lockport Township. As some of you know, I work at the food bank, and we have people, you know, working service hours, and they tend to drop things, so it rolls across the parking lot. But looking at the parking lot, I noticed there's some huge cracks in it. And I was going to suggest, I found out the other night that Homer Highway Department has a crack machine to fill these cracks. So you may want to contact them and see if they can loan it to you, rather than replacing the whole parking lot. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. And so for the rest of the board, I will say, I know earlier in the year, we did, which was approved by the board, hire an engineer to take a look at, you know, the wetland that we have here at the township, and also what it would look like to expand and repave the parking lot. The plans from the engineer did just come in recently, so we have some plans going on. But in the meantime, though, I will definitely speak with Homer Township and see if that's something we can do in the meantime. Because the projections from the engineer, this is a bit of a longer-term project, so I appreciate that. Cool. All right, hearing and seeing no other citizens, move on to the clerk's report. Madam Clerk, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Supervisor. We've been very busy at the clerk's office in the past month. The annual town meeting took place on Tuesday, April 8th, with 12 people in attendance. The township's statement of economic interest requirements were completed by everyone by May 1st. We've had over 100 people in for notary public services in the last month and have distributed over 50 baby diaper bundles. We have been preparing for our 5th annual Community Fun Day, which will be held this Saturday, May 17th, 2025. This event will be held in the community center as well as outside. We have over 50 participants. Food vendors will include Manja Pizza and Nikki V's food truck. Crema Coffee will also be selling coffee, drinks, and doors. Both cash, credit, debit cards will be accepted depending on the food vendor. Manja Pizza will be cash only that day, and the pricing for pizza slices and pop will be $5, slice only will be $4. Nicky V's will have their famous hot dogs and fresh cut fries, as well as burgers, Maxwell Polish, chicken tenders, and mozzarella sticks. At 10:30 a.m., we are welcoming a presentation from the Big Run Wolf Ranch on the stage in the community room. The magic of Greg Miller will perform magic throughout the event, and his main show on the stage will be taking place at 12:30 p.m. We are looking forward to this great event, and that is all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No assessors report. Do you have any comments or suggestions from the trustees tonight?
I would like to make a comment, if that's okay, since this is my last meeting. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve the people of Lockport Township as a trustee for the past 4 years. This was the first elected government position I have held, and I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity. Over the course of my term, I've had the pleasure of meeting many of our residents at senior breakfast, veterans dinners, community day, and many other events that bring our township together. These moments remind me of the strength, diversity, and warmth of our community. I made it a personal commitment to fully dedicate myself to this role. I scheduled vacations around meeting dates, and I'm proud to say I did not miss a single meeting during my term. Those who know me know I'm actively involved in several organizations, but serving the people of Lockport Township was always a top priority. As I reflect on my time in office, I want to emphasize one important truth. All the services that our township provides, support for seniors, scholarship for students, our contribution to mental health collaboration with the Lockport Township Fire Department, none of these efforts happen through the work of one person alone. They require the consent, cooperation, and commitment of the entire board. I want to take a moment to congratulate all of the newly elected officials. I wish them success, wisdom, and unity as they take on important work ahead. Please remember that everything accomplished in this township is the result of collaboration and shared purpose, not individual effort. Though my term has come to an end, my commitment to this community remains strong, and I encourage everyone to stay involved, stay informed, and continue working together to make Lockport Township a better place for all. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve. It is an experience I will always value.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Moving on, we have no billing report tonight, so we'll just jump right into our discussion and approvals for the night. So we have two potential approvals. These are both for events with our neighboring municipalities that we've actually supported in previous years. So the first is for the Lockport Car Show. The amount that they requested this year is the same as last year, which is for $6,000. That actually goes towards the car show and also the Christmas event that happens later this year. And then the second event is for Romeo Fest, which the township supported last year, and that happens from August 10th to August 10th. Last year we contributed $2,000, which is enough to have a table there. And this year I encourage the board to approve the same amount for both. So $6,000 for the Lockport Car Show and $2,000 for Romeo Fest. With that, I will now hand it over to the board. Do we have any questions or comments or discussion for any of these two? Well, seeing as we've done this in the past, I'm going to entertain a motion to support the City of Lockport with $6,000 for their car show.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
a second by Dean Morelli. Madam Clerk, could I please have a roll call?
Salvino,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Fickus,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Sapien.
Yes. Moving on to Romeo Fest. Does anyone on the board have any thoughts or questions regarding supporting Romeo Fest with another $2,000 level this year? Hearing none, if I can entertain a motion to support the Village of Romeo with a gold Romeo Fest sponsorship for $2,000.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Dean Morelli. Madam Clerk, could I please have a roll call?
Morelli,
Yes.
Fickus,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Sapien,
Yes.
Salvino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Move on to new business, move on to the Community Mental Health Project. So this month I do have two invoices. just because in last month's board meeting, because we had the board meeting a little bit earlier than usual, I didn't have the invoice for March, so I have both March and April. So in March, we spent a little over $13,000, and then in April, we had a little over $14,000, $14,500. You'll notice that in March, it said our remaining grant balance is $45,000. That was a typo. But then in April, our remaining balance is a little under $8,000, and that is correct because again, we transferred $30,000 earlier this year, which was approved by the board. Any questions on the mental health project? Okay, we'll move on. There's no other new business, but upcoming events, as the clerk mentioned in the clerk report, the Community Fund Day is happening this Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. and location will be here at the township office. Any final questions or comments from the board in the town fund meeting? All right, hearing none, if I can entertain a motion to adjourn the town fund meeting, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Denny Salvino,
I'll second.
second by Karen Johnson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Town fund meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Moving on now to the senior fund. For first item on the agenda for senior fund is the approval of minutes for the monthly meeting of April 7, 2025. I will need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that
A
motion.
motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Denise Salvino. Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to bills. I have bills in the amount of $39,556.64. I will need a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Dean Morelli. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please have a roll call.
Sapien,
Yes.
Salvino,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vickers.
Yes.
Motion carries. Do you have any citizens wishing to address the board tonight in regards to the senior fund? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the bus report. So for the bus report in April, we had a total of 568 trips. The senior bus was operational for 21 business days, which averages 27 rides per day. For the year of 2025, that brings up our average rides per month up to 527, which is up from 514 from last month. Any questions on the bus report? All right, we'll have no other business, new or old. If I could entertain a motion to adjourn the senior fund meeting.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Denise Salvino. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Senior fund meeting is adjourned. Moving on to the last meeting of the night is for general assistance. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the monthly meeting of April 7, 2025. I will need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Denise Salvino. Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to bills. I have bills this month for $21,633.70. I will need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Karen Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Dean Morelli. Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please have a roll call.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vickers,
Yes.
Morelli,
Yes.
Sapien,
Yes.
Salvino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Do you have any citizens wishing to address the board tonight in regards to the general assistance fund? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to GA report and new business. We'll first go over the general assistance reports. As usual, we have two, one labeled grant disbursements and one labeled system activity report. We'll look at the system activity report. We had 8 total applications, 5 of which were eligible for emergency assistance. The grand totals add up to just a little under 4,000. And as you can see, grant disbursements, the 5 people we helped, there were 6 total utility bills that we helped with. And again, the total adds up to just a little under 4,000. Any questions on the GA reports?
I do want to mention something on the the list of bills, one of the people's names is mentioned, which I think could be a recipient for the electric, and I wonder if that should be.
It should. So I caught that earlier today, and I should have caught it on Friday, and I did speak with our caseworker, and I provided feedback to make sure that doesn't happen. In this case, it was a unique instance because it's someone's bill that hasn't quite been paid yet, and so when we go into QuickBooks, it asks for, specific where is this bill going to, so that the caseworker put it in. Usually when we have reports, that doesn't happen, but I agree with you, and I provided feedback to make sure that doesn't happen.
But I'm wondering about this list. Madam Clerk, do you put this in the record so people can access this afterwards?
This is not going to be in the minutes, and this is just generated for the meeting's sake. We can make sure it doesn't go online. If there's anything that has anybody's name, we can take it out. Yeah. It's not, no, I mean, I don't know, are you gonna send out another version or just?
Yeah, we can send out another version.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
That'll be the easiest thing.
Okay.
So now moving on to new business, new emergency assistance guidelines. I did provide a copy, it should be at the very end of everyone's packets, but if the board may recall, roughly on a quarterly basis, I have been, as a supervisor of general assistance, I have been increasing the income guidelines in general assistance, again, every 3 months. And we started about 1 year ago, and that's to get closer to the recommended amount set by the Department of Human Services. So it has now been 1 year. So this time around, last time we increased it was back in December, so we are due for an increase. So we increased it effective tomorrow. The guidelines will now match what is recommended by the Department of Human Services, which is 200% the federal poverty level. And then the maximum payment, which hasn't been increased in a little over a year, was just increased just by a little bit, so $100. So for example, if there was a person, household size of 1, that was eligible, rather than get paid $550 to help with a utility bill, it is now $650. And the reason for that is to adjust for the cost of living increase, which again is a recommended practice. And so as is recommended by TOI, I am presenting these changes and guidelines to the board, so it will be available in the minutes. Other than that, I have no other business. Any final questions or comments from the board? All right, hearing none, if I can entertain a motion to adjourn the general assistance meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Lisa Almeida,
I'll second.
second by Karen Johnson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.